You ready?
Poolside, just make oh my God.
My diving's getting better, isn't it? Anyway, welcome to my new little series going into Weymouth 70.3. It's in about a week's time. I'm just going to go through my training leading into it across swim, bike, run, some of the kit I'll be using, nutrition, my plans or hopes for the day, and I'll actually do a recap of what happened in 2019 when we last did it, so yeah, stick around. So this will actually be the fourth and final 70.3 triathlon of the year, which is a shame, but also sort of quite welcomed actually. I'm feeling very burnt out from all of these. I'm actually struggling at a lot of the triathlons are quite stressful. I've not really enjoyed the last couple that I've done. So my previous time for Weymouth in 2019, or my overall time, was 5:22:38, but that was with a shortened swim. I think on the Saturday the sea actually looked quite dangerous. But on the actual Sunday morning it seemed fine. I don't think a lot of people were happy, especially the stronger swimmers. I don't think they were very happy that the swim had been halved. Now my swim time for that halved swim was 23:56. That was the first time I'd ever swum in the sea properly, other than when you're a little kid paddling around. So if we extrapolate that for a full swim, I'd have been looking at around the 48-minute mark. In Nottingham I swam 49, so that's not very good. In Stafford I swam a 42:30, so it'll be interesting to see what actually happens on the day. I'm not really sure what will. Now in terms of the training that I've been doing, because I'm quite a poor swimmer, I've been focusing on a lot of drill work. So typically over the last couple of months and weeks, I've been doing a lot of drills down at the pool. So I've been doing 2 to 3 sessions, sometimes even 4 sessions a week, focusing purely on drills. Switching between 2 different specific ones that I've been doing. One to focus on the catch to improve my propulsion, and then another one to work on body position to get more streamlined in the water. And then typically at the end of the week I'd come down to the lake at Denham and try and put it all into practice. And over the last couple of weeks that I've been down here, I have actually been getting faster and faster. It almost feels like on a week-by-week basis my average pace has improved quite a bit, and it's not just because of GPS issues, before anyone says that. So yeah, for the first time ever last week I think I did 2 loops and there was a number 1 in front of the pace. I think I did a 1:59 average all the way around per 100 meters. Also down the lake I've been trying to practice like race simulation type stuff, because at Nottingham I think one of the reasons that cost me quite a bit of time was that I sort of faffed around at the start. I jumped in, sorted my goggles out, you know, make sure they're on okay, check my watch, turn my watch on, and then just started going, rather than jumping in and just getting straight into it. So every time I come down the lake now I don't faff around, get everything sorted on the side, jump in and go. Another thing that's good down here at the lake for race simulation is that the pool boys are actually, or the boys in the water, are absolutely tiny. They're actually sort of equivalent size to someone's head wearing a cap, and it's not uncommon to basically swim up behind someone and find out it's not a boy, it's someone's head. But it does help with sighting, because if you can see the boys here, then the massive ones I have in the events do become a lot easier to see. So like I say, I'm down the lake again, and it's time to get in some more training. Try and do 1.5 or 2 loops today, just building up the endurance. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm at the lake again, training for Weymouth 70.3. I was supposed to be doing some racing with my mates, but they've all left me for dust, deserted me. Now it's just me and the ducks. They're still faster than me by a little bit. Right, so target for Weymouth is probably to just survive and probably get round in about 45 minutes. I'm not going to try and aim for a fastish time, just because I don't really do much sea swimming. The last time I actually swam in the sea was the previous Weymouth entry in 2019, and I've not been back in the sea since. And it was shortened then, so can you really count that? Yeah, that's the plan.
Great. Cool, then. I'm holding people up.
Glad you are a wetsuit now, yeah? So a little bit slower in that swim today. I did do a 10k run though before getting to the lake, so just felt a little bit tired the whole way round. It's also getting a little bit colder, so my arms are getting more numb, but anyway. Let's just continue talking about my Weymouth goal. So my target of 45 minutes, I've sort of plucked out the air, is based on the fact that I swam terribly at Nottingham and did a 49 minutes, but then a few months later, after a ton of drills and endurance work down at the lake, I managed a 42.30 at Stafford. So I'd be hoping to get somewhere in between there, purely because it's a sea swim and I'm not really sure what's going to happen on the day. So like the extra buoyancy in the salt water, you know, is that going to give me a slightly better position and make me more streamlined? Am I going to go slightly faster? Or are the waves going to take me out 2 meters and pull me back 1 meter, you know, all that sort of stuff? So I'm not really sure on the day. Plus I do tend to find I do go slightly faster in races. You sort of do get pulled along by other people, and obviously the adrenaline of the event and all that sort of stuff. So for anyone who's never done this race before, we did it in 2019, and these are just a few of the things that I remember from the day. Because they shortened the swim, it took a very, very long time to get in. It was also raining at the time. It was absolutely freezing. I imagine that annoyed quite a lot of people, but I seeded myself higher than I can actually swim just to get in the water and get started quicker, because it did take an age to get going. Just cutting in here with a little note for future Ben. Don't record a video from an angle under your chin. Obviously sighting is going to be a lot harder. I remember as well, there's a lot of times where you go to have a look and you're actually in the dip of a wave and you can't see anything. You literally can't see more than a metre in front of you, so you'll need to get used to that. You will also see things in the water around you that aren't humans, so that can be a little bit daunting, a little bit odd if you're not used to that sort of thing. Another thing that I was actually thinking that might be quite good was, obviously on the way back into the beach, I would have thought like the waves would have actually carried you at a faster pace back into the beach, but what I actually found was that obviously the waves push you forward, but they also pull you back slightly as well as they go back out. So I was hoping to fly back into the beach, but that didn't happen. And then of course, once the swim's done, you're out running along the red carpet into T1 to get on all your bike stuff and get out on the bike route. But yeah, I think that's it for the swim. In the next video I'm going to cover a lot of the bike training, plans for the bike, nutrition and stuff that I'll take, yeah, and from everything that I remember from the bike course in 2019, which I think is the same this year. So I'll see you in the next one.